Hey, federal employees, your union contract isn't supposed to be a light switch. On, off, depending on who's in charge and what week it is. But that's exactly the whiplash a lot of TSA officers are staring at right now. Here's what's going on and why I want you to be paying attention even if you don't work at the airport. DHS and TSA have announced that they're moving again to wipe out the 2024 collective bargaining agreement for transportation security officers represented by AFGE and roll into a new labor framework starting January 11th, 2026. Even though there's already a court fight from the last attempt that's still headed towards trial, so expect some court filings. And the big takeaway is this: at TSA, your workplace rights don't always live in the same Title V world most feds are used to. A lot of TSA labor rights have been shaped by agency determinations and litigation, not the normal steady rules people expect. So now, what does the agency say is supposed to happen on January 11th? Well, in writing, they're talking about changes that hit fast and hit real life. They're talking about canceling voluntary union dues deductions through payroll starting pay period 1 of 2026. They're talking about ending union official time for representational purposes and requiring people who are on full-time official time to go back to screening and to get recertified. They're also talking about canceling grievances and arbitrations that were filed under the 2024 contract and terminating pending things like impact and implementation, bargaining, and information requests. That's not abstract. That's your paycheck, your representation, and your ability to push back when something unfair happens, potentially changing in the middle of a busy travel season with very little runway. So here's the calm, practical way to handle this. First, watch for any written notices, not rumors, not my supervisor said, not somebody posted it in a group chat, written notices. Second, save everything. Screenshots, emails, attachments, memos, keep your own file. Third, ask for clarification in writing about what is changing, exactly when it's effective, and what process replaces what you used to rely upon. And if you're covered by the current CBA or local supplement, go pull it now so you actually know what protections you've been operating under, because you can't defend what you can't name. Paper is where employees get protected, and you're not alone in this, not even close. If you've got a TSA coworker who's trying to keep their head down and just get through this shift, send them this. It's better to know information, and please follow us along the way because we'll keep breaking down what matters in plain English as this moves throughout the agency and it's likely headed to the courts. And we really want to hear from you in the comments. Should a federal agency be able to undo a negotiated signed contract or a determination? If TSA's mission is national security, and it is, does that automatically mean collective bargaining is incompatible with that? Or does it mean management should be held to an even higher standard of fairness? Are they putting national security at risk by harming the employment relationship? What happens to morale, retention, and performance when the rules change overnight? And should Congress step in and make TSA bargaining rights statutory and more protected in a statutory basis so this would not happen? Thank you, everybody, for your support. Take care and have a good day.